to my friend Blanche on my rotary telephone. And we arranged to call again the next day at 9 in the morning. So I called up and there was no answer. So I got worried because Blanche remembers everything. I decided to call some of my other friends to ask about Blanche. They all said they didn't know. I called up the tennis facility, the golfers, the pool, the bingo room and card room, and all the dining places. I even dialed her cell phone number that she never uses. No answer. So, I decided to knock on her house door. No answer. I was petrified at this time. I knew where she hid her key, so I was able to get in. And there she was. She was lying on the floor. So, I needed to get help for her. I pressed the I've fallen and I can't get up button. And all I heard was hello, hello, hello. I eventually said to myself, this is ridiculous. I needed to get Blanche help. So I called 911. Before they came, I thought, Blanche's family needs to know. Her son lives in Buffalo, so I thought he should know last. So, I looked through her address book to find her brother's phone number. He lives in Indian Springs, too. I met him several times. Harold and I were friends, too. I just didn't know his number. So, but I couldn't find it. When the police finally came over, I said I couldn't find Harry's number. They said to look in the white pages, and I said, the white pages, how could I forget? So I called him. He came rushing over. The police took Blanche to the ambulance. The ambulance was taking her to the emergency room. It was taking forever to get to the hospital. So I yelled at the driver to go faster because we had a dying woman in the car. When they said they couldn't go any faster without possibly harming the other people on the road, I said, screw you! What do you know? I shoved him out of his seat and I took the wheel myself. I sped down the lane and we got there much faster. We hit a few cars on the way, but I never ran over any pedestrians. Finally, when we arrived at the hospital, I noticed the two men in the car were unconscious in the back. They must have sustained some minor head injuries from my collisions. Can you believe it? They're so weak. But I wasn't going to let them get in my way. So I took charge of the scene. I wheeled her stretcher into the emergency room all by myself. After 5 hours of waiting in the emergency room, the doctors said she had a stroke. Blanche had a stroke! Anyway, Blanche is okay now. She's in the rehabilitation center. I visit her daily. One day I asked her, Blanche, what's my name? She looked at me like I was nuts and said, Joyce. I think she knew that I saved her life. I'm a hero in their family. I saved their grandmother and mom. I saved their family. Excuse me, I need to take a moment. It's just so touching, you know. I think I was able to save her because I'm so cool and confident. It's truly a gift. You know why I've always had so much confidence? Out of the three of us sisters, I was always the most secure because I was always the pretty sister, the smart one, the funny sister, and the most popular sister. Everywhere I went, it was, Joyce, you're beautiful. Joyce, you're so smart. Ha! Oh my God, Joyce, that was hilarious. Oh, Joyce, I want to be just like you. But you know what's the key? I've always stayed grounded. It's very important to be modest. When somebody pays me a compliment, I always say, I know, thank you. So, even though I'm made of sheer perfection, it doesn't mean I don't struggle to stay humble. I don't know how I pull it off. Hello, my name is Sherman Duskovitz. I am 14 and a half, and I am here to talk to you about how to attract women like bees to honey. Before I tell you Sherman's 6 tips on how to be sexy, I would like to remind you that all players have flaws too. For example, I realize I have buck teeth and a little bit of a lisp, but I am working on it with my speech therapist, Shelby. She's a real chica. Okay, now, let's begin. Tip number 1. I draw in the ladies, not because I'm gingerlicious or because of my big-ass glasses. I mean, it doesn't hurt, but that's not the main reason why they beg for me. They all like the swagger, yo. Try to remind them of, like, One Direction, and you will be just like me, man. Try to flip your hair like Justin Bieber or something. Eugene, I know this concerned you in particular. But the myth that it doesn't look good with a buzz cut is completely inaccurate. See? Girls are obsessed with it. Swagger is guaranteed to get you a date, and it works for all ages. Tip number 2. They also dig my denim jumpsuit and bow tie. If you don't own either of those articles of clothing, turtlenecks with loafers are a close second. Harvey, I know your grandma bought you a wool turtleneck for Christmas, and that is perfect for attracting a girl who likes to play hard to get. You know, the ones who run away screaming and yelling, "Leave me alone!" Tip number 3. If you really want a date every Friday and Saturday of the year, then you should join mathletes or robotics or some other cool extracurricular activity. Public speaking makes them all go wild. And when you wear your fanny pack in the middle of the debate, they swoon, I swear. Tip number 4. Another good fanny pack maneuver would be if you winked at them, circled your pack around your head, and lassoed them in the hallways. They'll believe you're Indiana Jones. The fanny pack is a very effective magnet. And I made a scientific observation that it works especially well with both really short and really tall girls. Tip number 5. Brunettes love the science talk, and blondes always love it when you have conversations about your medical conditions. And if you like redheaded girls, then try to correct their grammar. Showing off your academic skills is key to getting that swagger I was talking about earlier. Now, this is why you all came here. So listen very closely. What I am about to say is the most important part of the lecture. Tip number 6. When you ask a girl out, use the words beautiful, babe, and chica. For example, I would pull my pants up really high and say, hey babe, want to hit the books after school for the big chemistry test coming up, beautiful? I brought 2 textbooks to school today, chica. Let's try it again with another example this time. You have a public speaking debate and you want to string a girl along. You would say, yo, beautiful, I got a debate to go to on Friday, babe. I see the way you've been eyeing me, and I was wondering if you would like to come along, chica. Now you try. A good way to practice is to talk to the wall and pretend you're asking out a really gorgeous chica, like Gertrude Stein. So, I hope you all have been taking good notes, and I wish all of you good luck in your future endeavors with the ladies. Give me an update during our next lesson on Tuesday. Take care, gentlemen. Oh, Lordy, what have I done now? I came here with my friend Georgia because she won a vacation to Vegas on the radio show Honky Tonk Honk with Tom, and she wanted me to go with her. I was listening to the radio at the time, and she got on to play the game, sang for some real nice thing. It's the game where you have to know all the lyrics to the second verse of a random song that they pick for you to sing. Georgia was so lucky because they picked Saddle Sweetheart, her favorite song, so she knew all the words. And when the announcer said, "Congratulations, Miss Georgia Clayton, you and a friend of your choice will go to Las Vegas," that's when she started screaming, and I think they might have been able to hear her 2 towns away. So, when we were there, we went to all the casinos, and I guess I had a drink or 2 or something, because I wound up getting hitched to this guy named the Lean Mean Gambling Machine. That's him. He's sleeping. I woke up to the sound of his snores. That's how I remembered we got hitched last night. I don't know what to do. Here I am in my $50 Sears wedding gown. We forgot to take the tag off. And sucking my candy ring, married to a gambler. I don't know. I am so screwed. I knew I should have stayed in Ackerley. Goodness, I haven't even told my mama yet. Mama always said, my baby will marry into civilized Southern wealth. Well, this man is out at the casino all day and night. He must not have a stable job, and he has no Southern accent, so Mama's dreams are crushed. Papa will be distraught. He doesn't even know I'm here, and I know what he would say. He would be just as furious as the rooster was. Oh, Lordy, when I called those sheep back at the farm, they sounded so disappointed in me. They said they expected more out of me because my mama and papa raised me never to enter a place like a casino. They said I should have been smart enough not to go anywhere with free drinks and no clocks. And Bubba the Big Sheep said that I shouldn't even leave the house without my watch in the first place. He was really pissed. Oh, but I completely forgot. What will I say to my chickens? The sheep are really close with them, and word spreads fast around the farm. My chickens always told me that when I married a man, he had to be a strong farmer, and it looks like my husband hasn't gone to the gym in 10 years. What will they think of me now? I am so ashamed. And I won't even mention those goats. They will be ranting all night and they'll charge at me with those horns. Ever since Faith, the main goat on the farm, died, they have been so depressed. What will they do now? Will the antidepressants even work anymore? Sweet heavens, what should I do? However, my horses have a completely different point of view. They said to me, Desdemona, you're a sweet, pretty girl, and we don't see why you shouldn't be with a wild man for a change. At least it would be better than Billy Bob the bald-headed barber. Oh, Lordy, I better make a decision before he wakes up. What has gotten into you, Desdemona? Why Vegas? Why would this guy like me and not the guys back at home? I think I have more in common with them, but maybe I don't. I'm always with either people or animals, but I'm really alone. That's what it feels like anyway. When I'm with my friends, I'm always in a big group, and I never see anybody one-on-one or anything like that. And even though I do talk to my friends a lot, being on a farm is a big responsibility, and there are stretches of time when I'm all by myself without people or animals. I hate that. Sometimes all the other girls would bring dates with them when we hung out, and I would be the only single person in the group. But who would I bring in the first place? I never really felt connected to anybody like I did in Vegas anyway. But when I saw the lean, mean gambling machine, something clicked. I was with Georgia at the slots, and I was getting bored of watching her repeatedly bend down to take another handful of quarters from her sack of coins. Then he came in. He was alone. He was sitting there looking around awkwardly in his black leather jacket. That's what drew me to him. He's an older man, too. Probably in his late 40s or early 50s. He's balding quite a bit. He's shorter than the boys back home. They're more the farmer type, and he's more of a city man. I don't remember much, but I remember the moment when I first saw him. When I approached him, I expected him to run away, because that's what I thought most men would do if somebody like me walked up to them. But he didn't run. He seemed interested in the farm, and I was intrigued by the whole idea of him, too. I mean, he's such a short man. How does he see out the front window of his car when he's driving? He didn't tell me that much about himself, but he did actually talk to me. When I hang out in a group with my friends back at home, no one ever talks directly to me. They only talk to someone else in the group, or just the entire group in general. But I had a real conversation with this stranger, and I wasn't trying to be what I thought I should be. I was just being, and it's weird, but I felt like with him was the way things were supposed to be. But if everyone around me is saying how wrong this is, then how come it feels so right? Oh, Lordy, what am I going to do? Does he know who I am? I am Julie Charlotte Russon, the French opera star. Americans. On my way here, I was hailing a taxi because my driver is sick. And some fat American man pushed me aside. He hopped in the cab, and I fell down, ruining my fresh French manicure. He destroyed my beautiful, professionally done manicure. And there is nothing to fix it, because none of my stylists brought any polish to the show tonight, since they thought it was already done. This is why I hate America. The people are so inconsiderate. In France, everybody wears a beautiful smile on their faces, which expresses French pride. They stop to say hello to a stranger. But in the United States, they just flop around from place to place, never acknowledging anyone else's presence. And in the beautiful city of Paris, People eat normal portions of food. In America, you get the feeling that every citizen would eat the world given the opportunity. Also, the French would not tolerate a fat man insulting one of their people. I deserve respect. It was a great honor for him to be in my presence. And he just spoiled his experience by brushing over me as if he did not know my name. I am thinking of suing him because I paid $50 for this manicure that he chipped. I am going to go on stage in front of thousands of people in 5 minutes from now with awful fingernails. However, lawyers are too expensive in New York, and I would not want to waste my precious time and money on that lowlife. In the United States, the people are unbearable, and that fat man was an obvious example. What they said back home was true. Maybe I should do my vocal exercises and try to forget about this, eh? Ooh la la, ooh la la, ooh la la. Georgia, California, New York. Georgia, California, New York. Georgia, California, Oh no! Even my vocal exercises remind me that I am in a place that the French despise for a very good reason. I hate America. Why did Françoise move here? Well, my sister was always like one of them anyway. I still don't know why I have to pay her a visit while I'm performing in New York. I hate America just as much as I hate Françoise. She did beauty pageants when we were young. She won the title La Petite Mademoiselle Parfaite 4 years in a row, and she still does modeling today. When we were girls, everyone loved her. They loved her more than they loved me. They thought she was more beautiful and likable. Every single Parisian we met worshipped my sister. And then she stabs them right in the back by moving to America to pursue her modeling career. She is such a traitor, but they still consider her more royal than Louis XIV. Everywhere I turn, I hear, "How is Françoise? I miss her. I hope she is doing well in America because I know I would never be able to cope in that horrible country." It's unbearable. It's filthy. It reminds me of Françoise. Everything in these states reminds me of my sister. America has the same false reputation as Françoise does. America smells like Françoise. It is full of garbage, just like Françoise. There are always more bad things to be discovered in this country, and nobody will ever uncover all of Françoise's flaws. Apparently, this country is gorgeous to most delusional people. And so is Françoise. Françoise may be pretty, but I am more beautiful, right? Right? Thank you. The only reason I never entered was because my sister kept winning, and I did not want to risk losing. I would only lose because those pageant people have microscopic brains anyway. Besides, even when I was young, I had a voice better than Luciano Pavarotti. I could have been La Petite Mademoiselle Parfaite. Je suis la petite mademoiselle parfaite, j'ai belles yeux et j'ai cheveux longs brillants, c'est parce que je suis la petite mademoiselle parfaite. Oh gosh, that is my sister who sings and fantasizes about cette merde. Notez-moi. This is all because I'm in America and not France. These people interfere with my beautiful ego. When I am in this country, I feel like Carmen because I do not belong. C'est tragique, mes amis. How do I escape this life? I must carry on and think of France to keep a smile on my face. I must remember who I am and believe in myself, even though all of these obstacles are in my path. This above all, to thine own self be true, and with this in mind I will make it through. I must go on stage, sing my heart out, and express the pains that I have been faced with at this moment in time. And I will show la petite Mademoiselle Parfaite that I have taken over her title. I will tell my fans and admirers in the audience today about my deep struggles, and they will heal me with their love and devotion to my performance. And Françoise, she can kiss my derrière. Guys, listen up. I have some exciting news to tell you. I scored a chica. She has long, wavy brown hair and brown eyes. She's really tall, and I think she could be in 10th grade. I got an older woman. It was love at first sight. I spotted her in the halls. We locked eyes, and she snickered as I stared. When I walked up to her, she was really surprised. I could tell by the way she was looking at me. And I said, "Hey, babe, want to hit the books after school on Thursday, chica? Be there in the library at 3:34. And then she got right up to my face and laughed like an angel. After that, she ran away across the hall to talk to her girlfriends, and they all started laughing at me and whispering. I think she really likes me. Even one of her friends was giving me googly eyes. I could tell because she was laughing just as hard as the girl I asked out. She thinks I have a great sense of humor when I wasn't even trying to be funny. How cool is that, guys? Huh? Girls love when a man has a good sense of humor. And she really dug my pickup line. She especially loved those key words I mentioned to you last time. Babe and chica. Remember that for your own good. But right now, I want to discuss how I should keep the triumph going. One thing I do need to work on sometimes is my cockiness. I'm not as confident as I should be at this point in time. I feel like I always hold a part of me back when I approach a girl, and this could affect my winning streak because girls love a man who is secure within himself. There is stiff competition at our school. Of course, as you could guess, the jocks and the rich kids get the hotties, but what you really need to watch out for are the smooth losers. You have to avoid ever becoming one of them. Some girls like the popular kids, while others want to aim for the geek that playfully flirts with them during science. Those types of girls tend to fall for the nerds in class that flirt around a bit but never act like they want to be cool. They trap kind-hearted girls and play with their minds, stealing them from the clearly handsome nerds like us. They are unassuming, but they are everywhere around us. And their methods can be successful. However, that's not the way we roll because we're too good for that. One example of a smooth loser is Gabriel Shamash. Oh. Even though he's not the coolest guy in school, let's count how many girlfriends he's had this year. Palin, Sneha, Shaniqua, Esperanza, and Genevieve. Genevieve! Oh, And he dated Beth too, but who the hell thinks she's hot? He has gotten a wide range of chicas too. Genevieve is in the musical theater group, while Paylin is your typical smart babe at school, and Esperanza is in the group of rich girls who aren't quite popular. I have to admit, this is a very impressive repertoire. The only two girls who happen to be in the same group are Sneha and Shaniqua. Notice how he dated them one after another, too. Shamash let just enough time go by before he pounced on Shaniqua for him not to look like a jerk for being cruel to Sneha while still causing drama in the grade and gaining some publicity. Now that's clever, yet sneaky, conniving, and downright evil. No one knows how he does it, because he has absolutely nothing going for him. But I know he's an example of your classic smooth loser. I hate him. He's my rival, and I want you guys to help me defeat him. He was the whole reason why I started teaching you guys how to get girls. We have to beat him and his crew. Somehow. He gets almost every babe I have my eye on, and he knows exactly what he's doing. Just when he sees my eye wander over to the girl sitting next to me, he gives me a dirty look before he takes her the second I'm about to talk to her. Caution, he's dangerous. Esperanza and Genevieve are the two girls that he has stolen from me, and I don't like it one bit. That boy is up to no good, so you fellows need to be quick on your feet when you see a pretty girl. Be very fast and sneaky. You need to sprint over to her the minute you spot her, and don't let anyone else near. Shamash must be shamashed.
Hi, it's Tai. I am the mother of Pao. Before school ends and class dismiss, I have some tips for you. I love Pao. I want the best for his future, and you want the best for Yusun's future. I think you really want to hear this because Yusun need discipline, especially Yusun, Tiffany. My son's smart. He's studious, honor student. He musical talent. He athletic too. Yusun can be like Pao with strict overall schedule. Pao 16-hour study, 2-hour violin, 2-hour piano, and 4-hour sleep. Listen to me. I know how to raise good son. Unlike you, Paula. Now, to improve your son academic, he need tutors. Many tutors. Pao has tutors for geometry, journalism, psychology, French 3, Mesopotamian sculpturing, and PE. Socialization come last. Pao socialize with mommy while study and have good fun. You can do too. Sorry to say that it's too late for you, Brittany. Okay. I know kids are starting to come out now, but I need your ears. In China, we understand that good kids need educational foundation to do well in world. I help you son get foundation. Some have natural gifts, some need more practice, but that's okay. They get there. But if you son fail, you have husband support. Mine no support. No support nobody. Mine sit there like bump on log. He wears suit and his hair always slick back, even at home. He's so formal all the time now, and he look at me with tired eye and empty soul. Usually, he come home after I go to sleep, and I don't see him at dinner. Sometimes he come home after dinner, but not much. I don't know what he's doing at night. I don't think he works from 9 a.m. to midnight every night. Maybe he don't work as much as he say. I don't know. I don't like to think about that. I lie awake at night. I try to think about Pao. I know he do well. I think writing to.com tomorrow and help him get A+ on paper. I think how excited he is for synchronized swimming meet and how he kick competition booty. I think how wonderful he is and how bright his future is. Then I look at pillow next to me. Head should be there. It no there. It's somewhere else. The empty half of the bed gets so cold late at night. This keep me up. I get sad, but eventually I go to sleep. It no used to be this way. Maybe if he no work as much, then there would be time for love. But, at least I have good son. Pao, my blessing, my baby dragon. In China, Pao means treasure, and my Pao sure lives up to his name. And I know you want it all, so I can help you. I help you find the key to your son's good future. So just remember, stay strict. And remember priority. Study, athlete, music, socialization. Keep that in head and your son will be genius like Pao. Thank you.
Today is the day. It's the Valentine's Day dance in Indian Springs. The Valentine's Day dance is the biggest dance of them all. There's a band and we all dance, you know. We do the waltz and the tango and the jive and the Lindy Hop and all those dances the youngsters still do at the clubs these days. Old couples go together and widowers and widows put on their best moves. The biggest bingo tournament of the year is held during the dance before the band arrives. And there's even a photo booth, which they never had in the past. It's a new addition. The board is very proud of it. Anyway, the time has come for me and Reggie to unite. Reggie is the Silver Fox of Indian Springs. He was almost an Olympian. He's a swimmer. Can you believe it? I know. That I haven't had a real relationship since my husband Seymour died 20 years ago. He is not very happy that I'm choosing to move on so fast, and he has been coming down from heaven just to tell me that Reggie is up to no good, whatever that means. Normally, we talk about the weather or girl thing and things like that. But now he's getting into my love life. It's overwhelming. He said to me, "Hey, Joyce, I'm going to check this Reggie guy out for your sweet cheeks." And I said to him, "Seymour, sometimes I wish you'd just shut up like most dead people." Honestly, he talks to me more now than he did when he was alive. And Reggie is none of his business, quite frankly. I still feel so wrong doing this to my late husband, but on the other hand, it feels so right to be with Reggie until I join Seymour up there. Of course, I will always have a soft spot for Seymour. We were married 39 years. And I know it's tough for him to let go, but I've been so lonely for a whole generation now. I mean, I don't know what to do because Reggie has been giving me this vibe that we should be together, and what is a sexy single woman to do? I just can't resist. He flirts non-stop. And he always stares at me when we play bridge at the club. And today, despite Seymour's objections, I'm making my big move on Reggie. Well, I don't think he sees it coming. Everything would be going smoothly if only Ethel bit the dust. You see, Reggie is married to Ethel. They're the hottest couple in Indian Springs. She's my friend, you know. We go golfing every week, and I feel terrible to steal her man, but nobody can stop the power of love. So, that leaves me in a tough spot. It's hard to tell if he'll follow his heart or not. However, what should I say? Should I act as if Ethel is invisible? Should I face the challenges we will have to go through together in this journey to find the love we've been missing for all these years? Should I flip my hair or rotate my hips? This is so complicated, but somehow I feel it's worth it. I know this will start up some drama in the neighborhood, but I can't keep these strong feelings inside of me. So I need help. What do you all think I should do to impress him? Should I be dirty or discreet? Help me, I'm desperate. You! Please help a lonely beauty find happiness. What should I say? First of all, you know what? What's your name? Let's get to know each other. Alice. Oh, Alice. Oh, I had a friend named Alice. Sadly, she died of a Malamore overdose. We don't know what happened, except chocolate and marshmallow stains filled the room when she burst. Anyway, please continue. What should I say?
I think you've got your patter down.
Oh, Alice, you gotta... Oh, I'm getting older. I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
You got it down.
Oh, thank you for the support. Oh, God. And you, what should I do? Come on, you're a blonde.
I am?
You are.
Follow your heart.
Oh, that's sweet. Okay, I will. Thank you all. I'm going to go out there, take all of your suggestions, and fall in love. I'm ready to go or let myself show. I'm Joyce. Hello, my beautiful friends who came out here to this wonderful opera house. I will be singing Think of Me from Phantom of the Opera. Think of me fondly. Stop tapping your foot, it's distracting. Remember me every so... I mean it, stop doing that. And you, in the red or pink or whatever, you are not paying attention to me. Listen to the music, you imbecile. Once again you long to take your heart back and be... You idiot! Why are you laughing at me? I want to start again. Stop banging that lousy instrument. You rascals in the audience have made me reach my breaking point. I have had a hard enough day already. Especially you, Françoise. You are my sister. You are supposed to support me, but instead you tell me that people don't know what I'm saying here in the States when I announce who I am. How dare you? I am the Julie Charlotte Rousseau. If I were not important, then I would not be performing here in front of thousands of fans. Françoise, you were once la petite Mademoiselle Parfaite. But now, you are in the crowd, and I am on stage.
Oh la la, is that Françoise? The former France Petite Parfaite? Oh la la!
Excusez-moi! This is about me, not Françoise over there. You damned Americans ruin everything!
Americans, so fat and ugly when they push me down. So what if they saved our asses in World War II? Don't care about then, for that was long ago. They have changed so much since those days. I will hate Americans until the end of time. Manicures, they fade after a while, but this one's prematurely past. He may have forgotten this, but I will not. Americans suck! You are clapping. For moi? I know my voice is pretty amazing, but I just sang an anti-American song in front of you, Americans, and you applauded? Oh la la, I am moved. Ha ha ha, Françoise, who is la petite mademoiselle parfaite now? Anyway, thank you, my devoted fans. You have healed me with your love and dedication tonight. So long, New York City. Je vous aime. Fellows, I've had quite an eventful day. You might want to sit down. I just had an epic duel with Shamash. That's right. I caught him staring at my lady. That's right. I said, eyes off, Gabe. He said, she was never yours. She was not into you at all. That, my friends, is when I unloaded a major container of whoop ass on him. I said, bro, get away from her. Then I pushed him to the floor and I watched as he cried. After that, the girl, whose name is Bristol apparently, told us not to fight, and I told her, honey, I'm a warrior and I'm gonna fight for you. When I said that, Gabriel Shamash threw a sucker punch at me. That doesn't mean he punched me when I wasn't looking. It means a suckish punch. Ha! Yes, he may have made me fall backward. Okay, and my glasses are slightly crooked, but no man alone can defeat the Duskovitz. So, I got up and I kicked him square in the ball sack. Oh yes, oh yes I did. He bent over and he let out a thunderous roar. He screamed, don't you dare kick my ding ding dong. He tried to do it right back to me, but the dumbass missed and kicked Bristol instead. A rookie mistake it was. She thought he did it on purpose, so she slapped him across the face and said, it's never appropriate to kick a lady or her man. And that's when she said to me, in plain English, Sherman, I will go on that study date with you on Thursday. My heart went a flutter, but before we could march down the halls hand in hand, guess who comes running toward us? Genevieve, the long-lost French girl I used to have the hots for. She says, Sherman, what happened to us? And I said, you turned me down for Gabriel. And she said, it was the biggest mistake I ever made. Well, I had two luscious ladies dangling in front of me. And I didn't know what to do. But of course I chose Bristol.
I mean, Genevieve is my past, but Bristol is my now, okay? Besides, I need to keep my dignity. Guys, studs like me can't go crawling back to the one woman who rejects him. Am I wrong? Of course not. So I said, babe, you missed the boat. It has left the dock and is sailing away to Bristol land. Then she threw one of her shoes at me and kept walking. So Sherman and Bristol, correction, Shristel, are living happily ever after. Don't you like it, guys? Oh, I knew you would. Gotta go now. Shristel is going to Legoland. Hey, y'all. It's Desdemona, and I am not a stupid country girl anymore. Over the past week, I have transformed into a Nevada beauty. By the way, I found out his real name is Adolf Madoff. He has the cutest little mustache that's square-shaped, just like a mini chia pet. And he has a lot of money. It's a mysterious kind of wealth, though, because he won't tell me where it came from. He is so modest and really sweet. And he is so generous with his money, too. When we were at a casino late last night, he gave this nice lady a $50 bill and showed her to her hotel room. Isn't that so kind of him? And when we went to this Italian restaurant afterwards, he gave the waitress a $20 tip and said, "Hey, Toots, that skirt hugs you in all the right places." I know what you're thinking. Even though he gave her an endearing tap on the tush, it wasn't like that. It was just a pat of encouragement because she had been working all day and was a little tired. From being on the farm so much, I know what it's like to work all day and night. It's nice to be told that you're doing well. I do believe we fell in love that night. He loves to listen to me speak. He said so himself. "Your words are like Miley Cyrus's music to my ears," and that's a quote. When we're together, I'm a different person. I'm the girl I always knew I was deep down inside. He's lightened up my life so much, and I really needed that sunshine to be brought into my world. I am so overjoyed now that I'm with him. So, I have decided to follow my heart and run off to Siberia with my beautiful husband. At least that's the plan. He won't tell me why, but he says it's urgent that we leave the country immediately. How romantic! I've never been to Siberia before, and I'm really excited. I hear that Siberia is gorgeous despite the fact that it's a war zone and it's always cold and it's kind of isolated, and they need to improve their education system, and some people don't get their basic rights. But I'm excited, and a change of setting would be really nice. I mean, it sounds like a great place. It'll be just like Texas, except the IRS can't follow us there. I mean, moving to a place as wild and exotic as Siberia would make me the happiest bride in the world. The farm, of course, wasn't pleased, but they ain't stopping me. They don't know the new me. Of course it'll be tough, being so far away from what I'm used to, but what did I have going for me in Ackerley? I wasn't beautiful in Texas. I wasn't truly loved. Adolf tells me that I'm beautiful every hour of all 6 days we've been married and known each other. Why didn't my family appreciate me like that? I am beautiful and should be told this every day. In Ackerley, I was worth nothing, and it's terrible waiting around for Mr. Right. Besides, the majority won't ever find him anyway. It's an an adventure. Besides, this will decrease our chances for divorce by about 90%, in my opinion. We met and fell in love in a place far from home, and we will raise our family in a place even further from home. We will feel the adrenaline rush that hit us when we first met every day of our lives. We will never get scared. We will never question ourselves. No, we will never look back. I will hop on that plane, searching for a change in my boring old life with the wind flowing in my hair, my man by my side, and a special Siberian sparkle in my eye. I've got Adolf. I mean, he ain't perfect, but he's close enough. I mean, too much perfection isn't good for anybody anyway. And although Siberia might be a tad daunting at first, at least it'll be something. You need to get over your writer's block. Get over it! You must continue to perfect your craft because your amazing light needs to shine in this dark, dark world. You are Gertrude. You are the Gertrude Stein. Come on, Gertrude. Think, think, think. You didn't come out here to the woods just to pace, bite your stupid pen, and play with wood chips. That's it. It's a pod. I must have it. I must have it now. This small pod, this fragment of Mother Nature is my new muse, my inspiration. I won't do anything but connect with nature and develop a strong bond with her so I can write beautifully and freely. In order to do this, I must sleep nature. I must breathe nature. I must eat nature. It's spiny, like the vertebrae of a T-Rex. Oh, it's spiny, like the vertebrae of a T-Rex. I feel the taste of bird shit melt on my tongue and go through my taste buds like a cactus through skin. Ouch! It pricked my traumatized trachea, but the saliva washes the pain away like rain on a cloudy day. Who knows what will happen when it comes out the other end? This will be described in detail when I complete this poem. Trachea, cactus, prick, pain, saliva washed away. Cactus, prick, trachea, cactus, trachea, trachea, when the bird shit melts. My masterpiece. This I must add to my collection of marvelous poems that I have written over the years. I have molded the perfect poem. I have sculpted this pod into something bigger that cannot be described. Or as all sophisticated writers say, this speck of nothing remains nothing but is bigger and better than all of us. I shall keep half of the pod in a display case in order to remember this wonderful work of art that has fallen onto paper, and I will feed the other half to my 8 lovely cats back at the cottage I call home. I think of home fondly. I think of my cats, my art, and my amazing wife, Alice. She is an artist, and together we go on adventurous hikes and journeys through the woods so we can find inspiration. It's a perfect match. And the best part about her, actually, the reason why I married her in the first place, is her name, Alice. The real Gertrude Stein had a girlfriend named Alice. Being married to Alice helps me be a bit more like Miss Stein every day as I strive to achieve my goal of truly transforming into the real Gertrude. Gertrude was a comic genius, okay? And I need to show the world how she lives on through my writing abilities. She was amazing, and I believe it was more than a coincidence that I was named Gertrude. It was destiny.
I was born with the gift that she was born with. We were born brilliant writers, both of us. As an infant, I had stories in my head, okay? And that was because her soul was, and still is, inside of me. Her soul needs to write. Anyway, Alice will be very proud of me when she hears my words of silk on a page. But I almost forgot. I try to block it out. I won't be talking to her tonight. I assume she'll be with Moses. Not the biblical figure, but Moses the Portuguese plumber. This is what happens when you marry a bisexual. The opposite sex steals them away from you, and it's a really sad thing, and it brings out my inner rage. My inner anger just gave me some more inspiration. A new poem. It is called When You Marry a Bisexual. When you marry a bisexual, they become more attracted to testicles. Now I am just a third wheel with a wedding ring and a meaningless certificate. Goddamn. Meaningless certificate. Wedding ring, testicles, when you marry a bisexual. Wedding ring, testicles, when you marry a bisexual. When you marry a bisexual, they only focus on testicles, focus on testes, and that is my poem. This is probably the reason why I have this writer's block in the first place. These distractions are hurting my skills. The visual of Alice and Moses creeps into the corners of my head every now and then. I imagine him there with his freaking plunger. And she would be painting on it as a symbol of her love. After that disgusting little episode, he would hand her something that resembled her face in a Ziploc bag that was stuck in a drain. This would be a present. This would be a present to show her that he's always thinking of her. Then she would put it in a display case in our bedroom. Oh God, I'm getting carried away by my passion. Or am I? I mean, it's Moses. It's Moses. What does she see in him anyway? I mean, he works with toilets all day and she sleeps with him. I hope she uses Purell and he washes his hands after work. That grotesque little man. I hate the smell of him. He smells like he's been swimming in laps in the sewer. I despise the sound of him, and every day he always says the same thing to me. Hello, Miss Gertrude. I'm looking forward to sharing your wife today. It sounds like he's been breathing helium for the last 5 years. I loathe the sight of him. He's an ungroomed, evil little Oompa Loompa. Ugh, I can't even think of him now. How about I write about something else? Like my cats. That's a great idea. Animals always serve as terrific inspiration, you know? I wish my cats would mow the plumber. Tonight was a magical one. I fell deeply in love with Reggie. Maybe it was his tight pants or those red and green bowling shoes. But I knew I'd found the one. I decided to go for the gold, and I did. And it paid off tremendously because I won the medal. So Ethel can kiss my you-know-what. I was the underdog in this race for Reggie, and I defeated my competition by an incredible margin. The end of the dance was near, and I was panicking because I hadn't said anything. The minutes were passing by, and I couldn't stand to hide from true love any longer. So I said to myself, Joyce, what is this crap? You know it yourself. Get off your lazy ass and do something.
Then I took a breather and I calmed myself. What gave me the confidence to push through the fear was when I looked deep into his eyes from afar. We had a connection. I took a running start before I made the bold move to make out with him right there at the dance in front of everyone, including Ethel. It was a bit awkward at first, but then we got used to it, you know. He dropped Ethel and she fell on her cam. So now we could take the center of the dance floor. Some people said it was a beautiful union, while others felt bad for Ethel. Or I didn't. So what? So what if they had 5 kids together and 16 grandchildren? She lost fair and square. It was the bravest and most wonderful thing I've ever done to this day. It was even more courageous than cussing that guy out for cheating during the shuffleboard tournament. Sorry, Morty. I mean, Seymour. Morty. That was another one. I couldn't contain myself, but I know you are looking down on me and sleeping with someone else up there to get your revenge. I mean, you're dead. What am I supposed to do? I have needs, okay? You can no longer fulfill those needs. Anyway, we've had this discussion a million times. I am happier than ever, and I don't regret anything I did tonight. Don't worry, I'll take care of Ethel later if I have to. She probably won't remember this tomorrow anyway. Thank you so much for guiding me through this time of confliction. Goodbye. I am theater critic Barclay Mutenhauser, and I have one message to deliver to you today. Stephanie Michelle Oken's I Love Me, a parade of narcissism, is the most atrocious thing the theater community has seen since Terminator 3 the musical. This show has no other purpose than to be offensive and stereotypical. We could all gladly live without it and cannot wait for the day when it finally leaves New York. Half of her characters have horrible accents, making us tune out because we are very aware that they are not real. In addition, all of them are narcissistic, unlikable people, and this turns me off because I don't even root for anyone. The character Desdemona is less than engaging because she is crazy and believes that she talks to animals. We are not sure if there is something wrong with her or if this is simply done for comedic effect. Then she runs off to Siberia with a man named Adolf Madoff, okay? This makes absolutely no sense, because if she's watched the news in the last 50 years or had a half-decent education, then she would know exactly why she shouldn't run off to Siberia. Her lack of knowledge offends all Texans. Sherman Duskovitz is a 14-and-a-half-year-old player, thus sending a terrible message to teenage boys. Sherman says that if you do something his way, then that is the only way you can get a girl. The next failure of a character, the writer who aspires to be just like Gertrude Stein, is just disturbing and generalizes female poets as weird antisocial people. Writers are actually quite interesting members of society, and that is why I chose to be a theater critic. I shed my wisdom to give writers constructive criticism so that they can perfect their craft. Anyway, Ty the Tiger Mom is extremely offensive to Chinese women everywhere. As if her extreme accent isn't enough to put you off, her pushy attitude about her son's schoolwork generalizes Asians as robots who have to work 24/7 in order to have the least bit of self-worth.
This is not true at all because my partner is Asian and he is the life of the party. Shout out to Ying, love ya. Anyway, next up is Julie Charlotte, the anti-American lady from France. But this time, Miss Oaken decides to act like a stereotypical French woman and mock opera singers, portraying them as divas. This is not true because my partner Ying is an opera singer and maybe he can be a little high maintenance, but he earns it with his angelic vocals. Finally, Joyce is offensive to all elderly women from New York. I take this personally because my partner Ying's adoptive mother has a thick New York accent. However, she isn't loud or obnoxious or self-absorbed. She's actually one of the most selfless people I know. Signing off, I am Mr. Barclay Mutenhauser, and I am here to say that I Love Me, A Parade of Narcissism by Stephanie Michelle Oaken is an awful excuse for a show and should be taken off Broadway immediately.